It's 104.5, the new Triple M, and this is The Weekenders, 8 till 10 every Saturday morning. You've got the Sporting Probe coming up from 10 with Roy and HG. Dobbo and Libby Trickett here this morning. We're going to get some barbecue tips very soon if you're having one on this sort of pseudo-long weekend.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have a long weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people are winning in the real estate market at the moment as well, Lib, and obviously house prices across the country are on the ups, and then you see them on the downs, and it's really difficult to know when you've got a house what the best way to go is, whether or not you go to auction, whether or not you put it in for tender, a private treaty, expressions of interest. And I thought today we need to drill down in this a little bit more. From, I think, Real Estate out of Ipswich, he's really well known across Triple M. He used to work for Triple M many moons ago, one of the leading real estate agents in Brisbane. Trent Quinn, g'day, mate. How are you?
Morning all, I'm really well, thank you. Happy birthday, Libby.
Oh, thanks, Trent.
Hey, Trent, this is a question that so many people ask. I myself am actually currently trying to sell a place, and you don't know what the best way to go is. Can we just dumb it down to the 101 about auction private treaty? Where is the best place for you to sell a house?
It's the ultimate question, and it's a challenge that every seller faces, and that's irrespective of what market you're in, market conditions, so on and so forth. But in essence, when you decide to sell a home, you have two choices. One, do you put a price on it? Or the other one is, don't you put a price on it? And the premise behind the auction process is you bring the property to the market without a price and then let the market determine where they see the value for the home.
Yeah, that's interesting, but the problem is that sometimes the value, and Lib, you were talking about this off air, you put a house to auction, you had a value on it, and it got nowhere near what it wanted.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. We did go to auction a couple of years ago, and it was a unique property, and I think that tends to be the consensus is if you have a unique property, which might not you might not know what the value is, that's why you go to auction. Is that right?
It is, and that's a challenge for the buyer as well, and I suppose that's where the onus comes back to the agent that's representing you. But the three basic rules to marketing a property without a price via auction is, one, and whether we're talking about real estate or anything, the minute you put a price on something, well, it's nigh on impossible to get it because all the buyers want to come in and they want to make low offers and, try and negotiate you down and get that price right down. The second reason why we do it is we put a time frame over the sale. So we say to the market, at this point in time, on such and such a day, we are selling. And that takes away the opportunity for the buyers to sit there and say, well, we'll wait and keep an eye on that one.
Sure.
And the third thing, and the main thing is that, and this is the whole premise behind eBay and all those other things is, if you're ever going to achieve market value or better for your property, it's if at the time of selling it, you've got 1, 2, 3 or more people there competing to buy the property. And from a seller's point of view, Lib, the seller's point of view, you're still in control of the whole process because you issue the agent with a reserve for the property. And if the property doesn't reach the reserve, well, you don't sell the home. So you're still in control the whole way through.
So what are the advantages of private treaty then?
If you can come up with any, let me know.
So,
sorry, I'm an auctioneer, so I'm an advocate.
Right, we need to qualify that. But look, there's a lot of people that really have to put a price on it and don't want it. I mean, the auction, and Trent, for you and I, that's fair enough. I'm an ex-auctioneer as well. The buzz of it and everything like that.
But it can be stressful.
Yeah, it's a nerve-wracking time.
It is a highly stressful environment, and as an agent, sometimes we miss that. But what you're dealing with in 99% of the times is you are dealing with someone's greatest asset that you are personally responsible for them selling it to fund whatever the next step in life may be. So it is a challenge, and we get that. But I guess my favourite line that I say to people all the time is I'm yet to turn the TV on and watch an episode of Hot Private Treaty.
Yeah, true, and that's true, and the upside of it is we're talking with Trent Quinn whether or not we're doing auctions or private treaty when you're selling your home or an investment property, is that you actually can make more than what you reserve. I've got friends of mine who just sold a house in Melbourne. They had a $1.4 million reserve. Melbourne's pumping at the moment. They went to auction. They were so nervous. 3 parties, $1.8 million.
But surely that's only if you have a bunch of interested parties. Like, what if you only get one or none?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you guys, isn't it?
That is a challenge, and that's then when the onus falls on the agent, Libby, and that's why if if you do go down the path of bringing a property to market via auction, I'd encourage you to do your homework on the agent that's got the track record with that process.
Yeah.
Because it is a specific thing. But I guess the main thing I keep coming back to is the minute that you put a price on something, it's very hard to achieve it.
Yeah,
and
that's
the best way to get more than what you want for a property, or indeed when selling anything, is if the buyer doesn't know what you want.
Yeah, true, because you can't sell. Yeah, exactly right. So what happens then, Trent, and this is the interesting thing, if you go to auction and, as you said, the market determines the price of the house, but you're not happy with that price. So, for instance, let's just use 600 as a round figure. You wanted 600. The people purchasing, there's 4 or 5 bidders, and the most it gets is 520, but you need that 600. Are you then in a really bad predicament that no one wants to know it because you've got nowhere near that achievement of what you actually need?
I would contend that you're actually in the box seat, Dobbo. And again, really macro and, so if with all the search engines now, if you know where to look online as a buyer, there's no secrets in real estate anymore. And the minute you put a price on a property, well, someone's only got to Google the address and that price is there forever. So using your example, and it comes down to, average days on market and things like that. But if you want 600, 9 times out of 10 people will list it at 650, allow a bit of room to move. We can knock a few dollars off, but the buyer thinks they get a deal. But hey, guess what? We still got our price.
Sure.
If the market thought it was only worth 520 or 550, if you're listed at 650, well, 4 weeks down the track, you probably haven't had any offers or any feedback or anything to show to you that it's worth 520 or 550. Whereas if you go to auction and it only gets to 520, well, 4 weeks down the track, you're now informed with where the market has the property. You then put a price on the property of 599 or 600 or whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden your agent then has a gap of only 80 to 50 grand that he's got to try and bridge to get the market up to meet you, as opposed to the private treaty example where you're a month down the track and you're none the wiser with where the market has the property.
Yeah, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. Auction over private treaty. Good chat, Trent Quinn. Everybody should be going to auction. Everybody.
Hey, and Libby, tell your husband for a perfect birthday present for you, he can buy you Dobbo's house.
That would help. That would help.
Love it.
Thank you, Trent Quinn. Good on you, mate. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks, guys. Have
Cheers.
a good one.
There we go. How exciting Libby's getting another house. That's great. All right, barbecue tips coming up. It's the Weekenders on Triple M.